Hello guys. In my last video, I discussed about a brief introduction of Zerto, and in this video, I will be discussing more in detail how the Zerto will be works and how the architecture will look like. So let's jump to the diagram. So guys, Zerto promised that they have a low RTO and RPO, but how they achieve this? So they achieve this based on continuous data protection (CDP) technique. This is based on block level replication, and block level replication works on in Zerto in near sync replication. So near sync replication is between async replication and sync replication that we all are aware of. It. So if we go async replication is like you are having an impact because of the snapshots generated. This will not happen on near sync replication. And for sync replication, because you have to maintain a certain data center components to maintain that level of sync replication, that is not needed in near sync replication. So CDP works on near sync replication to make sure that you are achieving very low RTO and RPO. So if you see the diagram, you will see that I have made something like to understand the features. One of the features from the Zerto for the CDP point of view. Uh, as I said, it will be continuous real time replication because it is going on async replication. Then within the replication, they are continuously doing encryption detection and giving an alert if something happened on the system. So Zerto works on hypervisor level. It means that uh, you have any vendor lock-in is not there. So you have any hardware or any storage. Uh, there's no issue on that. So it is based on software solution. So this is one of the main important point of Zerto. One of the main important point of Zerto. Because usually when we have a DR solutions, what we do, we have to make sure that storage from one primary side to another storage to another secondary side, it should be saved to maintain that replication, right? But if we are doing an hyper level replication from the Zerto, there's no need. Any hardware can be configured on the or installed on the primary side, or it can be installed on the secondary side. And since again, as we discussed about before, that for the VMware point of view, many organizations sometimes are looking for a change. Um, because of the Zerto, they can not only migrate, okay, but they can also do a replication, as I said. So it is making an interoperability matrix to make sure there's a flexibility among all the hypervisor solutions. For example, VMware, Hyper-V, and in Azure or AWS. So it is support the CDP support in of the now in of these platforms, and vice versa, so that you can migrate and replicate your data. So I'll cut off this session and I will discuss more in detail about how the journal disk will work, so that we understand more on CDP. A part of what CDP makes it so powerful is its journal capabilities it has. So you want to capture a write or IO does not mean you have a better CDP. It has to be paired with dynamic, beta tested, and hyper threading journal capabilities. The journal capabilities keeps tracks of every change data that is happening on the server or the application itself. So this checkpoint is coming up after every 5 or 10 seconds. And this data that is generating will be stored up to 1 hour to 30 days. So for example, I'll make a diagram here. So you have a backup around 12 p.m. Okay. And then you have a snapshot around 4 p.m. And then a something maybe uh disaster happened around 8 p.m. So this could be any disaster, or as we said, that ransomware attack happened. So and Zerto has the capability to detect, right? So it can detect and give you an alert and then respond and then recover the data. So recovery means, as I said, it arises checkpoint every 5 seconds. So maybe before 5 seconds, 5:19:55. So maybe the data that is created, it already has a journal which keeps tracks of data here, right? Now you can recover and you can rewind your data from here. So that granularity will be there to make sure that you recover your data from this point just 5 seconds behind. This will help you to make sure that you're not recovering from snapshot or you're not recovering from the backup. So it will help to reduce your RTO and RPO. So this is how the Zerto will function on the system. So I have made a diagram. It is a Zerto architecture where we'll be replicating from primary site to the secondary site. So this secondary site is taken as a disaster recovery site. Now Zerto has components here. For example, ZVM, it's a Zerto virtual appliance. VRA, virtual replication appliance. This ZVM will have a management interface where all the interaction is happening on the Zerto itself. So it's a unified control plane where you can do all the type of automation and orchestration that is happening on this management interface to make sure that you have a better RPO. And this with the help of VRA, which will be installed on each physical server. So you keep on increasing the servers, maybe 100, 1000 servers. So you have to install this VRA on each server, which will be taking part for the replication. So this will make sure that you have one-to-one relationship with the host, and then this will be used as a light data mover to replicate your data from one host from the primary side to the secondary side on the host of, to make sure that it is replicated to the target data store. Okay, then the underlying infrastructure, as I explained earlier, it is independent. There is no lock-in vendor, so you can have different physical storage from here, or you can have different vendor physical storage to another, and irrespective of vSAN solutions or any VMware vVols, RDMs, all can take the benefit of Zerto to do the replication from one place to another. And then they have, so this once, so this will be a journal disk. So journal disk, as I explained before, it's keep on changing the data that is happening on the VM1. So it keep a track of it. So whatever happened, it will have a checkpoint of 5 to 10 seconds, and then the replicating will be happening and will be stored on the replicator disk. So this will be as considered as a replication disk. And always consider the general disk will be stored on the secondary side. Why? Because this is the reason of disaster recovery, right? So when your primary site is down, your production site is down, you have your secondary side to understand from the general disk and to see which checkpoint, either 5 minute back or 10 minute back, so that granularity is always there from the general disk to recover your clean data. So that's the architecture of Zerto. So this is the last topic that I covered in Zerto. For any information, any discussion regarding Zerto, please reach out to us at Curious, and we are very happy to help you on the disaster recovery solution.